Loveland, Colorado is the site. Blue Arena, home of the Shaw Classic and the strongest man on earth. We are going to crown the strongest man on earth. 4 more events today. On the final day of competition, those beautiful custom trophies are indeed up for grabs. As we welcome you down on the floor here inside Blue Arena alongside Brian Shaw, the man that created this competition, Terry Hollins, Big Laws. My name is Joel Godet. Day 2 of competition. It's really at the top of the leaderboard, anybody's game. 5, 6, 7 guys still in the hunt. What has us most excited for day 2?
Well, I would say just exactly that everybody's in the hunt. I mean, we're talking 16 points per event, 4 events today. It really and truly is anybody's game. You know, you come out and you're consistent with your performances. It's open. It is open. It's exciting.
Laws?
Yeah, I mean, like Brian said, just there was so many chopping and changing yesterday. Different winners of each event. It's left today really exciting. We've got a lot of points to fight for. Some fantastic events. I am so excited to see what happens.
Terry, your thoughts on where we stand right now?
I mean, it's really a good spot. It makes for a really exciting day. I think Trey obviously had a bit of a bad event on the frame carry, still pulled through and is in the lead. Tom left a few points out there as well, but great performances all round.
Let's take a look at the overall standings where we are right now. It's Trey Mitchell at the top with 45 points. He has a 2.5 point lead on Tom Stoltman. Evan Singleton with 39.5 is deadlocked in third place with Thomas Evans, and then Bryce Johnson just behind with 39 points. Trey Mitchell is your overall leader, though. He is a man that has won this competition twice before. There have only been 3 different people that have won this competition in the history of it, so we'll see exactly how that plays out over the course of the next 4 events. Nick Guardione, making his debut, is in 9th. Eddie Williams, also making his debut, wound up with an event win yesterday in the arm over arm. He sits in 11th. But let's talk more about Trey Mitchell. Laz, he had an interesting day. Are you surprised or not surprised that he stands at the top of the leaderboard?
I've got to say I'm a little bit surprised. With yesterday having the frame carry in there, that was an event that we expected him to do badly. And he did do badly. He came last in that event. But it just shows how good he is at all the other events and how much kind of talent there is in this competition for the other guys to kind of be all over the place. He smashed the other 3 events. He's ending day 1 in the lead. He's exactly where he wants to be, because personally I think day 2 is his day.
Tom Stoltman, Terry, the only guy in the top 5 that has not finished in the bottom half of an event. He has just been Mr. Consistency, and that's put him in contention. What do you expect from him with 4 events to go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tom, probably a bit of a mixed bag yesterday. He left a few points out there. He lost a few points on events that you would have expected him to get. But overall, it was a pretty solid performance. He was placed really well, consistent. He's kept himself in the hunt, which is great, even with a couple of performances he perhaps wouldn't be happy with. But I think today he's got a couple of events, especially the last event, he could really come through and do some damage.
Brian, the T-Rex yesterday used a bazooka to blow up the log, and he had a really good day overall. He's 5.5 points out of the lead. What surprised you maybe about what he did yesterday, or what was maybe standard for par for the course?
Yeah, Evan is the guy we were all talking about. If he puts it together, he could potentially win this contest. He does have the tools. So for Evan, it's a mental game, and that's really and truly where it's at. Typically for him, he has had a lot of success with one-day competitions. It's the second day where things can kind of fall apart. So if he was able to shut his brain off last night, get some rest, and refocus coming in today, everything is to play for. He still very much could win this competition, and that's what needs to be in his head.
Pay-per-view coming up for the entire coverage of Day 2. You can head over to theshawclassic.com to join us. Again, theshawclassic.com to catch the pay-per-view for all of the action over the next 4 events. Thomas Evans, though, Laz, yesterday, I mean, hey, to see this guy's second day, because he has put himself into a huge spot. What stands out at how he did it?
Thomas Evans is one of those guys that just goes about his business and keeps putting pressure on the big names. I said yesterday that I see him as one of the underdogs. He's got a couple of really good events today. I mean, last time we had the chest press, I think he was second to the big man next to us over here. So he's got experience on this event, potential win on that one. He'll keep performing well. Could very well be in a chance of getting on that podium, and who knows, if one of the top guys slips, could take the title.
Brian Johnson, Terry, could also be on the podium, and he is somebody that you look at. Laz even said on the broadcast yesterday, should he have been here in the first place, he's trying to earn his keep, trying to prove that he belongs at this level. Did he do that to you?
I mean, for sure, there's no doubt about it. Bryce has been here as an open competitor in the past. He's now in the pro show. He's had a great year so far this year, had a real breakthrough year. He's performed at World's Strongest Man. He's just won North America's Strongest Man, which is a great title to have. He's proven he belongs. I mean, his stone performance was one of the best things of the day yesterday for me. It was absolutely amazing. He's shown he's got all the tools, and I think he could have a good day today as well.
An amazing day in his 7th ever international competition. He comes out with an event win on those stones. Brian, Austin Andrade was also good on the stones, and he's also within striking distance.
He very much is. I was able to speak to Austin last night, and I said, man, Day 2's a great day for you, and that's what you need to be thinking. I know he was a little bit upset with the stones. He wanted to do even better, even though he did end up with a great result. So I said, take that away, just relax, come into today. You've got a lot of power. You trained really hard, and today's where you need to really step up and put it on display. So I think we're going to see some great things potentially in the deadlift. yoke carry. Chest press could be another really good one for him. So I think he's looking to have a big day and move up that leaderboard.
TheShawClassic.com to catch the pay-per-view to see how that leaderboard shakes out over the course of the next 4 events. Let's talk about those 4 events now because they are unique. We have some returning, that standing chest press, but a max deadlift trap bar, hex bar deadlift, that's something we haven't seen in competition. We asked each of the 16 competitors, have you used a hex bar in competition? And we got one yes. Thomas Evans said in an amateur competition, he was in a 2-man field and he had to hex bar for reps. A little bit of a different vibe here, Brian. How did we arrive on that?
You know, this is something that kind of went around in the strongman world, but it was not necessarily a trap bar, it was a frame. And there was some talk of like, what is potentially possible at deadlift on a frame with a neutral grip? And so that's really where it kind of came up. Obviously the guys are allowed to wear straps, so it's not going to be a grip competition, but very fascinating to see what these guys will do because we've seen a lot of deadlifts in strongman. You can vary the heights with the front bar, but with this, I think potentially the guys that have very, very strong legs can utilize them, get some different power, and I think we could see some different results from this event, which makes it very exciting.
Yeah, Terry, how does it change form, structure, if you have to deadlift from a trap bar?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and sometimes being short can be a bit of an advantage, but it's mainly having strong legs is more of an advantage on this type of deadlift. Having a strong back is more an advantage on a regular deadlift. But I mean, I think it's great because a lot of people do trap bar deadlifts in the gym, so they can really relate to this. They've gone in the gym, they've had a go on a trap bar, they know what they can lift, and then when they see these guys out here doing the crazy things they're going to be doing, it really puts it into perspective.
Laz, here's the hard question. We talked about this on the log yesterday. What could we see and what will we likely see?
I think we're going to see some amazing numbers, as these guys have said. Like, I think someone like Lucas Hatton, maybe not, if it was a max deadlift, maybe not your favorite, but with that leg power that he has, I mean, you see the size of the legs when he's walking around, could be very useful for an event like this. Numbers, I don't want to make a guess. You know, these guys constantly surprise us. I'm looking forward to seeing the strategy and what guys pick and, you know, how heavy they go on those openers. It's going to be fascinating for us sitting back here watching.
Second event that comes up is the one I think a lot of people are most looking forward to because it is the most unique. It is the yoke carry, 1,200 pounds plus. It's going even higher than that in the second round. We're talking about gold bars being loaded into gun safes. Laz, what excites you just from the idea of picking up something different, random, unique, and cool?
Well, it's not real gold, but it's real heavy. And I can't wait to see how this goes. It's going to be very interesting with the 2 rounds. So they need to get through the lighter round first to get a crack at that heavier round. And I think this really separates some of the guys. Maybe if it was a bit lighter, I'd expect someone really dynamic like Evan Singleton to win. He's a very, very quick athlete. But being this heavy, I think it's going to suit the guys that have a bit more structure to them, a bit more body weight, thickness around the core, big, strong legs. You're going to need to just be patient with it, pick that up and be steady, because if you try and go too quickly, it's just going to throw you down to the ground. I think guys like, again, Trey Mitchell, Austin Andrade, could be a great event for those guys.
Terry, some of the guys saying we might see 3, 4, 5 guys only finish. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very possible. I mean, it basically, I think, with this event, the way Brian set it up with the weights and stuff, it takes an event that's typically a speed event, it's very fast, very dynamic, into a pure strength event. I do believe that we're going to see a lot of guys not finishing it. And, you know, like I said, I think it's going to be a nice change, making a yoke a sort of moving event more about how strong you are. But I agree with Loz. I think guys with the big, strong body structures, big, strong legs, big, strong cores are going to do really well here.
Brian, just a suggestion. This would be expensive. I don't know the right people, but next year, real gold, and if you win, you get to keep it.
There was some talk of potentially the winner of this event getting a gun safe if we do it again, which would be kind of like getting some gold, right? So they're really excited. You know, Fort Knox coming in as a sponsor of this event is huge. I think it's going to look incredible out there. And, you know, I know these guys are nervous about this event and the weight for sure, but the biggest, strongest guys are going to come through here. And I know they've trained hard. It's just about getting in front of this audience, getting out of the stage, and putting that hard work on display.
Brian, we'll come back to you last on this next event because you have crushed the one we're about to talk about, and that is the standing chest press. It's right behind us. Can we call it the Kegger coaster? It's got like that vibe to it.
There's been a Keganator press, the Donkey Kong chest press.
Well, I like that.
There's a few different nicknames that are floating around with this one, but it's unreal. I mean, looking behind us, it's very, very cool to see it set up again.
Terry, what's it feel like to bench press in a standing fashion?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, again, like the trap bar, this is something people can relate to. Bench press has always been a tricky one with strongman to like do it in a competition visually. You can't see the guy's face, you can't see the reactions. This is great to see, obviously. You can see what's going on. I think when you're standing it, that sort of sound of the kegs rattling down, it's going to put a lot of nerves into you. But I think, you know, we have got some big strong presses. We could see this finished, and we could see Brian's mark from the last time it was used beaten maybe this year.
Laz, do we see that mark beaten? That was 2 reps at the heaviest keg.
You know, these guys constantly get better. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers that they've got to lift on the screen right there. It's very, very heavy, and it's a big target. But these guys want this title. If they need to do 3 reps on that last keg, they're going to have to try and do it. Every year, the athletes get better. This is going to be an exciting one.
All right, Brian, tell us what it's like to stand in that apparatus, to hear the kegs rattling down behind you. What's the vibe as a competitor?
It's absolutely unreal, and it builds in suspense. And as a competitor, doing it, that event in particular for me is maybe one of my coolest moments in strongman, because this crowd, the energy in that moment, like every keg, it's building suspense. The volume's going up, your energy is going up, and it's just something that you want to do. This being the second to last event in this contest, the guys are going to know what they have to do. They're going to walk out there. They're going to want to perform. And I think we've got some guys that are going to finish the rack, and then it's just going to be about how many reps they can put up. So, you know, I think we're going to see some performances on that one, and I think the volume in this place is going to be ridiculous.
TheShawClassic.com to log in, sign up, and catch the pay-per-view for all of these events as we try to find the strongest man on earth in our second day of competition. The 8th and final event is a front carry into power stairs. Brian, we're going to start with you because the really cool part of this event is that it ties into Colorado. Colorado's an oil-producing state. You've got oil rig parts. Makes it a real local vibe and feel.
Yeah, we got Liberty Energy on as a sponsor of this event, and their idea was to use oil rig parts for the event. And I said, well, let's figure out how we can build something that could work. Finishing with the power stairs. These are very, very different power stair implements than these guys will be used to. So they should test them, the balance, getting them coordinated, how they're going to lift them. All these things are going to be imperative. And especially when you're under big pressure in an event like this, making a mistake could cost you dearly. So the guys need to be quick, but don't hurry. And hopefully they can execute when it's all on the line.
Terry, to what Brian was talking about, there's no swing in the weight on the power stairs. Usually you can kind of get the weight going a little bit. How does that rigidness of those oil rig parts make a difference?
I mean, one thing I would say, it obviously changes the lift. I don't think it's necessarily more difficult. I think it's just different. I think the guys have to be prepared. They've got to know it's different. Like Brian said, you need to practice. At least have a pickup before you go. Try it, have a feel of it. I mean, I don't know that it's going to change the result, but it certainly could add to the difficulty of it come the end of the competition.
Laz, the front carry, it's awkward. I mean, it's a cross, but it's made up of oil rig parts. It's going to sit on your arms funny. I think it was Bryce Johnson that said I was trying to find the least uncomfortable way to carry it. What's the least uncomfortable way to carry something?
I think you got to not worry about how comfortable it is. You kind of just have to attack it. You know, they're all big, strong guys. It's the easier element of the two. It's just there to fatigue them before they get to those power steps. They need to just get their hands around it, lift it up, be as quick and as steady with it. You know, you don't want to fall with it, so you've got to make sure you don't make a mistake, but they need to be ready. This is the last event of the competition. It's game time now. There's potential chance to jump up and get on that podium. Maybe you're battling to take the win. You can't let anything get into your head other than focus, give 100%, and try and get that win.
All right, guys, it is the final day of the Shaw Classic, the strongest man on earth. TheShawClassic.com to sign up for the pay-per-view. Final thoughts from each of you on what we have ahead of us. Brian?
Well, I'll tell you what, it is all to play for today, and all of these guys have trained incredibly hard for this. They're going to wake up a little bit sore, a little bit tired, but right now it's the proving ground, right? Like a lot of these guys, this title is huge for them. It's a big moment. And I just want to see them come out, put that hard work on display, have fun, enjoy the moment. But, you know, we're going to find out who earns that title today, and it's going to be incredible.
Terry?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're going to do is we're going to see who's going to step up. You know, there's plenty of guys in contention for the title. We saw a lot of up and down yesterday. We could see the same again today, but one of them is going to come out and go, this title's mine, and they're going to stamp their authority on it. Whether it's Trey, whether it's Tom, whether it's Evan, whoever it is, but someone's going to come out and do that today, have a great performance all day, and win the whole show.
Laz, 3 men have won this competition in history. Brian Shaw, Trey Mitchell, and Mitchell Hooper. Is it going to be 3 men that have won this competition in its history at the end of today, or will we get a 4th?
It could well be. I mean, whoever wins, they deserve the title. It's a brutal competition. All these guys are amazing. Everything to play for.
It was a good punt. Very good political answer. It was Brian standing right there. You could have just thrown him in the mix. TheShawClassic.com, guys, to catch the pay-per-view, to catch the Final Four events, and to catch who will be the 2025 strongest man on Earth. We'll talk to you up in the booth, but for now, from Blue Arena, so long in Loveland, Colorado.